Year 7 and welcome to lesson 6 of this second summer half term. And today you'll be looking at Me gusta el cine en mi ciudad. I like the cinema in my city or town. And here's a list of the equipment you need for today's lesson. The exercise book that the school gave you, a pen, 2 different coloured highlighters or 2 different coloured pens, your knowledge organiser from module 6, which is on class charts on a link, and wordreference.com, which is also on a web link on class charts. And these can be opened in tabs at the top of your computer. Pause to get that ready now. Please remember to email me if you have any questions about the activities in today's lesson, and here's my email address. And please also remember to upload a copy of your work, could be a photo, onto class charts within 2 days after the lesson so that I can check your work and award you an achievement point. Gracias, chicos. Copio la fecha, viernes el 19 de junio, y el título, Me gusta el cine en mi ciudad. So underline the title and the date, and then write down the objective, objetivo, to give opinions about our town using the definite article in Spanish. Pause to do that now. So here's your do now activity. I want you to fill in the gaps with either muchos or muchas, depending on whether it's masculine plural or feminine plural, and then translate into English for me. So you need to write the whole thing out for me. Let's do the first one together. So hay piscinas. We need to look at the noun and we have to look at its ending. And here it's an AS ending. So what does that tell us? Good, yes, that it's feminine and plural. So what are we going to use? Muchos or muchas? That's right, we're going to use muchas. And we're going to translate that as either there are many swimming pools or there are a lot of swimming pools. Entirely up to you if you use many or a lot of. Okay, press pause to do the rest of the activity for yourself and play to get the answers. Gracias, chicos. Okay, let's check the answers. So we did one together. Número 2. Hay muchas plazas de toros. There are many bull rings. And this is muchas because it's plazas. We look at the noun every time. Okay, we don't look at the adjective. We look at the noun. Okay, the adjective comes after the noun. So looking at plazas, it's got an AS ending, which means it's feminine plural. Muy bien. 3. No hay muchos mercados, and we know it's masculine plural because mercados ends OS. Okay, and that translates as there are not many markets. Muy bien. Y 4. Hay muchas estaciones de autobuses. Okay, so we know that estación is a feminine word, so estaciones, feminine plural. So we have to use muchas, and that translates as there are many bus stations. Muy bien, chicos. I'm now going to pass you on to Miss Clinton to teach the rest of the lesson. Please remember to email me with any questions and to upload your work to class charts at the end of the lesson or within 2 days. Gracias, adios.
So we're going to kick off with some grammar today, year 7. We're looking at the definite article today. You've actually seen the definite article lots and lots of times before because you always use them after opinions. So, as always, I'd like you to listen to the explanation first and then you're going to copy everything down. You'll obviously need to pause your video whilst you do that. So, we're looking at el, la, los and las, the definite article today. So you can have that as a subtitle in your book when you come to writing this. So in Spanish, we use the definite article the after opinions to specify a certain place that we like on our town. So if you want to say, oh, I really like, that particular shop. I really like the shop that's called Primark, for example. So there are 4 ways to say the in Spanish. We have 1 way, they have 4 ways. So let's have a look below. So for masculine singular, remember you're going to need to use el. For feminine singular words, to say the, you want to use la. For masculine plural, los. And for feminine plural, las. So this is nothing new, but it's really just to have in your brain that they all mean the. So let's have a look at some examples. Me gusta la tienda porque es bonita. So here we're really using them in context with opinions because we often use them when we use opinions. So me gusta la tienda porque es bonita. I like the shop because it is pretty. So we know that we need to use la here because tienda is feminine and it's singular. And of course we want to justify opinions, so we say it is, and then this adjective here, remember at the end as well, we'll need to agree. So for the second one, here we're going to say no me gusta el cine porque es feo. I don't like the cinema because it is ugly. So we know that cine is a masculine singular word, so we need to use the masculine singular version for the. I don't like the cinema because it is ugly. And of course, remember again, our adjective at the end is agreeing with our noun. Me gustan las tiendas porque son bonitas. I like the shops because they are pretty. So remember, here we've got tiendas. Now we've added an S. So we know that it's a feminine plural noun. That means we need to use the definite article for feminine plural nouns, which is las, but we also, and pay close attention, need to add an N, this is really important, to the end of our opinion verb, because we're saying they are pleasing to me, essentially. We therefore also, if we want to justify opinion, remember we will need to use son, because we want to say, I like those shops, they are, and then again our adjective agreement there, bonitas. And lastly, if we've got a masculine plural noun like cines, let's have a look. No me gustan los cines porque son feos. I like the cinemas because they are ugly. So here we need to use the masculine plural form of los for the, and we've remembered to add an N to our opinion verb, okay, because this noun is plural, and therefore we need to say the cinemas are, son, and not use S. Okay, and again, there's our adjective agreeing there as well. Okay, so that's just making a note of what we've just said about remembering if the noun that follows the opinion is plural, we need to add an N to the end of our opinion verb. And if you are adding reasons to your opinions, you will need to use S after singular nouns and son after plural nouns, as well as agreeing the adjectives correctly. So, pause your video now, Year 7, to write that down, please. Okay, let's have a look at that grammar then. You're going to have a go yourselves this time by filling in the gaps below. So firstly, you'll need to fill in the gap with the verb ending of the opinion. So either using a or an, depending if the noun that follows is singular or plural. You'll then need to use the correct definite article. So the, either el, la, los, or las, and then you're finally going to translate the sentences into English. So if you need extra help, you can use the table below. That's the table you just copied up into your books. And you can also double check the nouns in your knowledge organizer if you can't remember whether they're masculine or feminine. Let's have a go at the first one together. Me encanta cine porque es divertido. So you can see I'm missing the ending of my opinion verb there, and also the definite article is missing. So I'm going to choose me encanta el cine. So I know that I need to use here just a, singular a, because cine is singular and masculine. Therefore, I also, for my definite article, have to use masculine singular form of the. So I've now got me encanta el cine porque es divertido. I love the cinema because it is fun. I finally then translate it into English. Pause your video now to have a go yourselves. Okay, let's go through your answers. No me gusta el parque porque es histórico. I don't like the park because it is historic. So just like the one above, we know that parque is masculine singular. Therefore, for my opinion verb, I'm just going to use a because the noun is singular and I need to use masculine singular definite article the there. Number 3, me gustan las playas porque son bonitas. I like the beaches because they are pretty. Here I've chosen an for the opinion verb because the noun that follows we can see is plural. It's got an s there and it ends in an as. Therefore it must be feminine plural and we therefore need the feminine plural definite article las. Number 4, me gustan mucho los centros comerciales porque son limpios. I really like the shopping centres because they are clean. Here, your noun that follows is, of course, masculine plural. Therefore, we need the plural ending for our opinion, gustan, with the n. And we also need masculine plural, definite article, los. Number 5, no me gusta la plaza porque es sucia. I don't like the town square because it is dirty. So here we needed to look at plaza, which is obviously singular and it's feminine. So we needed to use a singular version for our opinion, a, and then the feminine singular of a definite article, la. Pause your video now, year 7, if you need to make any changes. So well done. That wasn't so easy. Okay, I'd like you now to translate the sentences below. Can you write both the Spanish and the English, please? Pause your video now. Okay, let's go through your answers. Number 1, me gusta el museo porque es moderno. Here you're using el because museo is masculine singular. Therefore, we wanted to say it is. And moderno, we need a masculine singular adjective ending there. Número 2, no me gusta la plaza, feminine singular, porque es industrial. You needed to use, obviously, it to say it is, and then industrial, we didn't need to change that. No me gustan nada las estaciones de trenes, porque son pequeñas. Here we needed to use the plural of the opinion verb, because this noun here is plural. So we needed to use feminine plural version, las, because estaciones is feminine. And then we needed to say they are, so we needed to choose son. And feminine plural ending for our adjective at the end too. Número 4, me gusta mucho el castillo porque es histórico. So we wanted to use the masculine singular version here for castillo and therefore also histórico had to match. And finally, number 5, me encantan los polideportivos porque son divertidos. So because polideportivos is plural, you needed to say use the plural version of the opinion verb, me encantan, use the masculine plural definite article los, and then of course you need to say they are, so you chose son and not s, and chose the plural and masculine adjectival agreement there at the end for divertidos. So, muy bien if you got all of that correct. There's lots of things to think about for each sentence, so really well done if you did. If you didn't, don't worry. Keep working at it. Make any corrections you need to now, so you can pause your video. Okay, we're going to do some reading practice now. I'd like you to follow me as I read aloud the text. So you're really thinking of looking at the words as I'm reading them and looking at and listening out for those foreign sounds. Hola, me llamo Juan. Vivo en Sevilla, en el sur de España. Me gusta mucho vivir aquí porque es muy interesante. Sevilla es una ciudad muy grande e histórica. También es muy bonita. Por eso hay muchos turistas. Hay muchos museos diferentes y hay plazas bonitas. También hay una plaza de toros, la Real Maestranza. Hay muchas tiendas en el centro y hay un estadio y un polideportivo, por supuesto. Hay un parque muy grande, el Parque de María Luisa. Hay muchos palacios. Por ejemplo, el Palacio del Alcázar. Al lado hay una torre histórica, la Giralda. Me gusta mucho Sevilla. Es una ciudad estupenda. ¿Vas a visitarla? So I'd now like you to reread that whole text again. Hopefully you managed to kind of get the gist of the meaning. So reread it, and then you're going to write whether the 8 statements below are true or false. So there's some vocabulary in that box there just to help you when you read it back through, a couple of expressions you might not have known. And here are the 8 statements. So you need to decide whether they are true or false. If we just do the first one together so you get an idea. Sevilla es un pueblo. Okay, so I'm just reading the first statement there. And it is false, because if you read the text, we can see here in the second line it says Sevilla es una ciudad. It's a city, not a town. So you would simply put false for that one. Okay, if it was true, of course you would write true. Pause your video now to have a go. Okay, let's check your answers then. We already did number 1 together, and we said it's a city. Number 2 is true, because it says Sevilla es muy histórica, which it says here. Number 3, Sevilla es una ciudad fea. No es correcto. It's false, because he says it's muy bonita, very pretty. Number 4, no hay muchos turistas. Again, that's false, because he says, actually, because it's so pretty, por eso, therefore, there are many tourists, muchos turistas. Okay, and note actually, it's a funny word, this one. It's ends in as, but it's actually a masculine word, and that's why it's got muchos before it, if you were wondering. Number 5 is false. It says, hay una plaza de toros importante. But actually, although it says there is a bull ring here, it doesn't say anything about being important. And this is a good point to make. It's good exam practice for you, because often you might assume some things. You think it's true, but if it's not written, it must be false. Number 6, hay muchas tiendas en Sevilla. That is true, because it says here, hay muchas tiendas, there are lots of shops. And number 7, hay un parque, se llama el Parque de la Reina. That's not true. There is a big park, but it's called María Luisa. And finally, number 8 is false. No hay muchos palacios en Sevilla. Well, actually, it says there are lots of palaces. So beautiful, actually. If you ever get to go to Sevilla, I lived there on my year abroad, and it is absolutely stunning. This palace Alcázar is very, very beautiful, with some very interesting architecture. Okay, so I'd now like you to, for your final activity, do some writing. You're going to write about your town or city that you live in. So you can include the following things. Write about where you live. Do you live in un pueblo, a town, or do you live in una ciudad, a city? What's in your town or city? Write at least 3 things. So are there any shops? Are there any cinemas, parks, etc.? I'd also like you to include 3 opinions with reasons about your town. So do you like your town? Do you not like your town, and why? Etc. So language-wise, I'd like you to use all the grammar that we've been using over the last few lessons. So can you use, obviously, after your opinions, remember you'll need to use your definite article that we practiced today. Me gusta el cine, for example. Can you try and use muchos or muchas? So are there lots of or many cinemas? Are there many parks? Hay muchos parques. And can you talk about, use unos or unas? Are there some parks or some restaurants? Unos restaurantes, for example. Try to use connectives as well. So here's my model paragraph. In green, you'll notice are my connectives, so you might want to use those. También, also, además, furthermore, sin embargo, however. And also 2 of my favourites, por un lado, por otro lado. On the one hand, on the other hand. And I've just asterisked those so you can see them at the bottom. So have a read through of my model answer, and then you can have a go yourselves. Pause your video now to do this. Okay, Year 7, if you have any time left, you can, for your hour, you can now translate the paragraph you just wrote in Spanish into English.
Gracias, chicos. Well done on your really hard work today. Remember to upload a copy or a photo of your work onto Class Charts when you've completed your hour and within 2 days, so I can look at it for you and give you a well-deserved achievement point. Gracias, adiós.